Everybody on earth is scared of letting go of an illusion. And we can say that the process of growth is step by step letting go one layer of illusion at a time, so that you can slowly and slowly, as you get stronger, come face to face, bear the intensity of reality with a capital R. So everybody's afraid of letting go of an illusion. But what's the alternative? Here's what happens. If you don't let go of an illusion, you remain weak. And this is not weak muscular also. It's weak. Your nervous system is weak. Your nervous system is supposed to be able to bear the intensity of life. Life is very powerful. We can say that life is infinite. And your nervous system is supposed to be able to channel, receive, express that infinite power of life. Look how weak we've become as a society. Man, woman, and theys. Look how everybody's weak. Well, what does that mean? Well, humans have become, over thousands of years of conditioning, disassociated from reality in every way, shape, or form. That, in other words, is weakness. So now all of us, those who are intelligent enough to understand this, now have to say, okay, I have to make a decision. Because the next transition is you're going to go into the machine. Now, you're already plugged into the machine with your cell phone, but the next level of integration is it's going to be chipped in your brain like your homeboy Elon is prepping. Now, why do people want to do that? Because all these technologies, what do they provide? An evading of reality. Isn't that what it offers? Isn't that what your phone offers? Isn't that what TikTok offers you? For a moment, which becomes your everyday, all day, you disconnect from reality. And whatever you're seeing is not even like portraying reality. It's like a clip of a clip of a clip. It's nothing. So we've gone so far away from reality that we don't even understand that there's such a thing as reality. Some of us are starting to get that. Why? Because you're uncomfortable, you're diseased, you're suffering. Everything in your life is fucked up. Your relations with your friends, your relationship with your family, your relationship with women, most importantly, your relationship with women, everything is upside down. No matter how hard you try or not try, it doesn't work. So some of you are starting to wake up and realize, okay, I got a problem. I'm diseased. And that obliges you to go on a path of healing. And the first thing you're going to learn on the path of healing is that, well, you're living in la-la land, bro. It's in your mind. You live in a metaverse, your own personal metaverse, in your own mind, which is constructed, as I've said before, by corporations. Corporations have sponsored the metaverse in your brain, and you live there in order to avoid dealing with the intensity of life and the demands of life. Like I say, it's the power of life, and power, which is supposed to circulate via your nervous system, means responsibility. That means you have, as a man, also the woman, have a responsibility, a duty towards life, vertically, horizontally. Now that's why you don't want to deal with that, because the task is so overbearing at this stage, considering the scope and the magnitude of the disease, that just to be for an instant confront to it, even in an instant, you feel like, that's it, I can't deal with it. You feel crushed. That's understandable. But an intelligent person now understands, okay, I'm sick, I got a problem because I can't handle reality. I can't handle life. What you going to do? So now you need to undertake a journey of healing. And the process of healing is to, one layer at a time, remove the conditioning. And when you remove the conditioning, enters more life force, life power, which means, well, you have to bear a higher level of intensity. It's not all of it in one shot. It would destroy you. It's one layer at a time. Of course, this process has to be guided by competent teachers. Let's not get into that, but you understand. But you let go one layer of illusion. There's more power coming in. That power now, quote unquote, enlightens you. You start to perceive life with more clarity, with more discernment, with more sobriety. You start to see, oh, this is nonsense. This doesn't make any sense. How did I ever buy into this? How the fuck did I ever masturbate watching fucking porn? That's why I speak it like it is. What kind of idiot jacks off on porn? Now you wouldn't understand that because you don't even get it. Yeah. If when light comes into you, then when you look at it, once your system integrates that new level of power, like, what the fuck is wrong with that monkey? And it's one process, one layer at a time, one layer at a time, one layer at a time, one layer at a time. So every human being, man or woman, is trying to avoid dealing with reality because reality is so fucking powerful. It is so grand. And for whatever reason, which we've covered in different videos, we've covered that the humans have been conditioned systematically to become very weak, pathetic servants, slaves in a zoo. So anything that remotely highlights or points to truth, truth equals reality, is too much. That's why today when we speak about anything honest, you panic. Change it. I want to hear something that feeds the narrative of my personal metaverse. I want something that nourishes my fantasies. That's what I want. And I want a music, the soundtrack of my fantasies. I want the clothes of my fantasies. Right? That's what I want. I don't want anything that sounds like truth because it scares the living shit out of me. So, in regards to man and his relationship and his drug addiction to female validation, I don't know why I went like this for that one, but it's an addiction and it's female validation. Well, it's hard to let go of that one because there's nothing more substantial circulating in you to help you to bear with yourself, your power, your responsibilities, so that kind of like starts to, you can't turn it off. The reason you're addicted to the drug is because there's a disease. I'm going to say it one more time. The reason one is addicted to the drug is a palliative measure to deal and cope with a disease. It's like an aspirin. I have a headache. I take the aspirin. The headache isn't solved, but the pain has disappeared, at least temporarily. So that's what these addictions are. And female addiction is the numero uno, the number one opioid. And when you mix an opioid with the super female opioid, ciao. You're in paradise. Artificial paradise. Number one artificial paradise. So you don't just cut an addiction. You have to understand the nature of the problem and you need help to solve the problem. And it's a rare thing to find in this world. People who have a genuine understanding of the human condition, how the human being functions. And you cannot understand a human being only in one dimension. Human beings are a multi-dimensional it's a multi-dimensional creature. All these dimensions have to come into one. That's why we say yog, bring together, yoke, union. All these parts have to come together in one coherent individual. This is not an easy task to do, considering how shattered human beings have become, especially the man. Shattered, like 1,000 million pieces, barely holding together. Held by an artificial narrative that corporate America sells you and got you chasing like a dog that you are for bullshit you don't need to try to give you the sense that you're the man. Yet no matter how you achieve, you don't ever feel like a man. Ask Will Smith. Once again, I'm not a gossip kind of person. I ain't got nothing against nobody, but I'm using an example that you'll understand. Will Smith is arguably one of the most popular people on earth next to Rock, Barack Obama, Donald Trump, Michael Jackson. You got Will Smith. I don't know if there's any person on earth that doesn't know who Will Smith is. Will Smith could get laid instantly if he chose. He's richer than all of us combined. So, yet, it's obvious to see he's miserable. Internally, he has not found what he's looking for. And contrary to so many other people, he doesn't even hide that, and he uses that to push the brand. At least he's a smart brother, right? He unhappy. What does that say? Accomplishing and achieving everything the material world has to offer doesn't appease the inner anguish. Now you may say it's because he's a simp. I don't give a fuck what your theory is. I'm trying to highlight something, that materialism doesn't satisfy the man. And so-called inner enlightenment doesn't satisfy the man either, because we are beings that have an inner part and an outer part, and to bridge them together is a complex affair. All this to say, the illusion that the woman sells you and offers you is a very powerful drug. And if you're unfortunate or fortunate to be able to have access to high-level illusions, that means high level of pussy, that sell you exquisite Dolce Gabbana style illusions, because you're quote-unquote successful in one singular layer of life, I think you're in a worse position than a person who doesn't get fuck all, which is most of you. Because it's very obvious your situation. When you have millions of people that scream your name, it could go to your head. When you ain't got nobody screaming your name and nobody wants to look at you, how the hell are you going to invent yourself that you're a superstar until you get plugged into the metaverse? You can't. So there's an advantage to it. It's in your face. If hundreds of thousands of people think you're the greatest thing that's ever walked on the earth, maybe that illusion can get to your head. Maybe. If you're sensitive enough, it's not. But you're on drugs. Versus the person who's getting nothing, you can't even get high off of that. So, I hope I made my point.